Hiya, welcome to LSB Feaster's radio channel and travel corner. This is the YouTube channel that is not about the debate between which is better, Batman or Superman. No! What we do here is we keep great radio from the past alive, and today, it's a radio legend. We're talking about the one and only Gary Owens, who spent a lifetime on the radio in Southern California. You may remember him from his Laugh-In days back in the late 60s. This air check is kind of special. This features him when he was doing his show for our Armed Forces Radio and Television Saigon. The name of the show was Gary Owens, the Music Guy. And on this show, he played middle-of-the-road music while doing some of his classic bits and materials, just trying to make the soldiers feel a little piece of home as they were serving during the Vietnam War. I actually found this show in a lot of reel-to-reel tapes that I bought years ago. Most of it was junk, and then I found about 4 reels of this show. So I'll give you some of it now, and if you really like it, you want to hear more, let me know in the comments below, and I'll post more. If you like what you hear, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and make sure you smack that bell. When you do, you'll be notified whenever we post anything new. So let's go back to 1967, AFRTS Saigon, and Gary Owens and the Music Guy Show.
There they go, all the members of the famous Bob crew on K. I was going to mention a call letter here. I better not. You can almost have any call letter at the beginning with a K, unless you're west of the Mississippi, then it's a W. Or is it the other way around? Not that it really matters, but I was just sitting here practicing call letters because I should do something. Look at this. See that? That happened to me this morning. I was playing basketball in my backyard early today, and just as I was pretending to be Jerry West of the Los Angeles Lakers, oink, I hit the cement. That is to say, my sinewed hip and my calloused right thumb and wrist hit the cement, and the cement hit back. So what I'm doing today on the Music Guy Show with G.O. is performing this actual program with a splint composed of several yards of porous gauze and an old popsicle stick with some old orange popsicle still attached to it. And now, anyway, I have injuries like Jerry West. Oh, boy. You know, it's strange because I used to have bangs and bruises all the time when I was taking part in sporty things during the halcyon days of my sullen youth, back when I was a wide-eyed, timid halcyon. But it all stops when you get past 20, they tell me. Elderly to a teeny bopper, of course. Then you heal more slowly. Well, I wanted to show you these things because Blanche Guberman, my secretary, checked into our well-stocked files to reveal these statistics of guys who hurt themselves in sport but overcame that deficiency. Number 1, if you'd like to jot this down, Harlan the Stuffer Mook, 4'7" center for the old Dodge City Fenorks, once played the full 48 minutes of a game while suffering a torn ligament and 4 fractured fingers. Unfortunately, Harlan didn't score a point as his team lost 110-0 in an overtime. Let's see, here's one. Harry the Cat Dog, pitcher for the famed Toledo Mud Hens, played for 2 full minutes of an exhibition game while suffering from a frightening hangnail. And there's more. For 5 straight seasons, Minnie Minoso led the American League at being hit by pitchers. And for 6 straight years, Carl the Bully Fangman led both leagues at being hit by catchers.
And now, football scoreboard. Yes, Football Scoreboard, the program that takes you to all the stadiums, big and small, across the length and breadth of this great country of ours for a look at the results, big plays, and key players who make the gridiron sport what it is today. Football Scoreboard, the program that pulls no punches in getting the scores and results to you, the fan, first. And now, here he is with your Football Scoreboard for this time, your Football Scoreboard man himself, with all of today's results for now, Ernie Selwitz.
Hi there, sports fans. It's time to call them as we see them. There are no scores today on account of it's not Saturday.
You've been listening to Ernie Selwitz and the Football Scoreboard. A look at all of today's gridiron action up to the moment in the USA. Bartley Hoke speaking for the entire staff of Football Scoreboard.
They call her home. to tease 'em and thrill 'em, to torture and kill 'em, is her delight, they say. I saw her at the seashore with a great big can, filled with Hannah pouring water on the drowning man. They call her hard-hearted Hannah, the Phantom of Savannah, G.A. To tease 'em and thrill 'em, to torture and kill 'em, is her delight, they say. An evening spent with Hannah sitting on your knee is like traveling through Alaska in your big bikini. They call her hard-hearted Hannah, hard-hearted Hannah, hard-hearted Hannah, the Phantom of Savannah,
The Vamp of Savannah G.O. That really wouldn't make any sense. If you're driving near Savannah, take the Hannah off Vamp today. All right? Will Bronson Singers, and they call themselves the in-crowd singers in reality. Abraham Lincoln once said, "We do also honorably recognize the gallant men from commander to sentinel who make up our armed forces, and to whom, more than to others, the world must stand indebted for the home of freedom." Today's serviceman continues to be a bulwark for the existence of our home of freedom. And it is ultimately through his efforts that our nation stands freely and proudly as a leading member of the world. So you continue the good work. In a few moments, another fantastic episode in the Treadmill of Life. And also Garbage Man will be here a little later on the show with G.O. Let's see. Oh, I almost forgot. Another obtuse episode in Return the Paper Plates. So keep your dial right where it is, or we'll have the fattest member of our disc jockey staff come over here and step on your fingers. Okay?
Hey, is it true blondes have more fun?
Yes, it is.
Good. Hand me the bleach.
Well, fans, it's almost time again for another thrill-packed adventure on the Treadmill of Life. A little later in the show, we'll be looking back at that amazing year 1924 and some of the tunes that were popular then and some of the things that happened in the great U.S.
And now, today's chapter of The Treadmill of Life. As we join our story today, Dr. Whitcomb has just come out of the operating room.
Sandra, I'm afraid to report I have some bad news.
Well, just how bad will that news be? We'll find out in the next dramatic episode of The Treadmill of Life.
Today's installment of The Treadmill of Life was written by Arnold Fredericks, Osborne Tucker, and Shepard Flanders.
Special material by Wilton Pasternak, Seymour Gibbons, and James T. Baxter.
Additional dialogue by Abner Haskell, David Emerson, David Pollock, and Elias Davis.
Script supervision by Edward L. Carter, Franklin Hill, Dean Stapleton, and Martin Tracy.
Research editors Mike Conway, Lorne Braddock, and Steve Miller.
Closing credits written by Terrence Walling, Zeke Edwards, Arnold Shapiro, and Zachariah Costello.
This is Charles Dietrich.
And Randolph Collins, signing off for the entire Treadmill of Life staff.
One more night without sleeping. Watching till the morning comes creeping.
Guy Show with G.O. I was promising to look back into 1924 for you, or with you, actually. Some of the big tunes in that year were All Alone. They certainly were. No, that was one of the big tunes. Amapola. California, here I come. I want to be happy. Here's one that you probably will recall. Does the spearmint lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? I'll see you in my dreams. The Limehouse Blues was big in 1924, and The Man I Love, and Tea for Two, and quite a few more. Also in that year, Congress passed the Soldier's Bonus Bill over President Coolidge's veto. J. Edgar Hoover became head of the FBI in 1924. Crossword puzzles appeared and took the nation by storm. Also, quite a few storms appeared and took the nation by crossword puzzle. Recognizing the crossword puzzle's popular dimensions, the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad put dictionaries on its mainline trains back in 24. Also in that year, Paul Whiteman, conductor of symphonic jazz, invaded the field of serious music. Giving concerts, he performed for the first time George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue, with the composer playing the piano solos. And at Notre Dame University, the Four Horsemen made their alma mater and their coach, Newt Rockne, the giants of football. All that happened in the year 1924.
Look, out on the curb. It's a dog. It's a cat. No, it's Garbage Man. Yes, Garbage Man. Known to his friends and acquaintances as Herbert Benedict, a mildly eccentric Beverly Hills playboy, but able to transform himself at will into the world's most violent enemy of refuse and trash. It's Garbage Man.
Well, Oriental sidekick, are you enjoying that little apple you're eating there?
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Herb.
What was that?
Why, it was just my apple core, Mr. Herb. I spit it on the floor there.
This looks like a job for Garbage Man.
Now, to pick up this apple core here, and then put it in here. And now, to replace the lid.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Herb.
No need to thank me. A job well done is enough satisfaction in itself.
You've been listening to the adventures of Garbage Man.
ready to walk on the mild side with Kay Winding. Time now for Return the Paper Plate.
You remember last time, at the big Hollywood party, Carl Morgan discovered the gimmick that in just a few short hours made him the toast of Hollywood. It is now a few hours later, as Carl the Foot Morgan escorts his newfound friend, Julia Fairholm, to her front door at the end of a perfect evening. Let's listen.
Would you like to come in for a cup of coffee, Carl?
Well, I don't think I should, Julia. I have to get up early to be on the set tomorrow. First day of shooting, you know.
Well, 1 cup of coffee won't take very much time.
Yes, but it'd keep me awake, and I must get right to sleep.
Well, how about some more milk?
No, that keeps me awake, too. Maybe some other time, Julia.
You don't like me, do you, Carl?
It isn't that, Julia. I like you very much. It's just...
Well, isn't there anything I can offer you to get you to come in?
I don't know. How about that Ming vase over there?
But I inherited that from my uncle. It's worth $200,000.
Well, look, do you want me to come in or don't you?
I'll tell you what, Carl.
What?
I'll give you half of the vase.
But then it'd be valueless.
Look, do you want to come in or don't you?
Well, all right. There, I'm in.
Okay, here. Here's your half of vase.
Thank you, Julia. And now I really must be going.
Well, wait a minute. What am I going to do with half a vase?
Well, here's half a flower.
Carl.
Julia.
Well, what's going to happen next time? Don't fail to miss our next exciting episode when we hear Julia say...
Now, where am I going to find half of a watering can?